very much encourage others.
Thank you very much, Mr. We'll take us a rotary.
Large and keep the world beating. It's most appropriate, particularly at such a time that the world is experiencing the most tragic pandemic. The Blood Service, we all know, is among the worst affected institutions as far as the COVID pandemic is concerned. And I must personally acknowledge the various efforts that the management and staff of the National Blood Service have made and continue to make in ensuring continuous safe blood supply despite the difficulties. At this point, on my own behalf, I would like us to just give a round of applause to our CEO. He happens to be as the very secondary school, and I have been watching her over the years. The passion with which she works. I remember when she gave me a call and she said, "We need blood bags." And before I received Jack, she was in my office. Another round of applause. Government, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chair, the government is very much aware of the various preparedness, emergency response plans, and interventions that the service put in place during the heat of the pandemic, and the kind of responses that came from the donor public. I must commend you, Madam CEO, and your team for initiatives taken, for the various initiatives taken, and I urge you to continue to ensure the sustainability of the strides. Certainly, the importance of blood in saving lives of victims in any emergency situation cannot be overemphasized. So kindly join me in saying aiko to our voluntary donors who have shown their selfless commitment in making sure that safe blood and blood products are made available in our hospital blood banks for patients who need transfusion. Mr. Chairman, while we acknowledge and celebrate our voluntary donors today, it is important to note that the country's blood supply still falls short of the units required by patients who need blood transfusion. I have been reliably informed that one of the reasons why this is so is because most Ghanaians prefer to wait until their relatives or friends need urgent blood transfusion before they show up to donate. Mr. Chairman, this family replacement system does not ensure timely availability of safe and adequate blood for patients, especially in emergency situations. I would therefore like to use this occasion to appeal to all Ghanaians, religious bodies, and corporate institutions to accept voluntary blood donation as a civic responsibility and a duty to our society. We need, as a matter of urgency, to move away from the family replacement system and redouble our efforts to attain the 100% voluntary blood donation target set by the year 2025. This is in line with the World Health Organization strategy for all countries who have not yet attained the 100% mark. I would also like to charge the National Commission on Civic Education to collaborate with the National Blood Service to intensify blood donor education campaigns across the country, especially our educational institutions, in making sure that the spirit of volunteerism is rekindled towards voluntary blood donation. The campaign must highlight the role of the youth in supporting safe and sufficient blood supplies now and in the future. Though the role of young people in this process is key, I would also like to appeal to every healthy citizen aged 17 to 60 years to please give blood, and together, let's keep the world beating.
Yes, I say a big aiko for keeping the world actually beating. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you all to today's commemorative event. Thank you for coming, and God bless us all.
Many thanks. Good afternoon to you all. It is an honor for me to be addressing you on this special occasion of the National Blood Donor Day. As we all know, blood is an important fluid that flows in our bodies.
Over the same period, the percentage of the voluntary blood donations collected by the 3 blood centers has recorded a corresponding decline from 52% in 2019 to 24% in 2020. The percentage of voluntary blood donation is an indication of the quality of the national blood supply and its ability to provide blood and blood products during emergencies. Funding of the National Blood Service has also been very challenging. The service runs a small annual budget relative to the growing demands for blood and blood products for transfusion. There's lack of funding to scale up and sustain operations to adequately meet the demands for safe blood in health facilities. The National Blood Service requires sufficient budget for expansion and long-term sustainability of blood services across the country. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, with a national population of over 30.8 million, according to the 2021 Housing and Population Census, Ghana's national blood requirements now stands at over 300,000. Also, according to the 2021 Housing and Population Census again, Ghana's population is transitioning from one dominated by children 0 to 14 years to one dominated by young people 15 to 35 years. With the youth constituting 38.2% of the population, it is safe to conclude that many more Ghanaians qualify in terms of age to give blood, bearing in mind the eligible age for blood donation of 17 to 60 years. We have the opportunity to meet the World Health Organization recommended minimum blood collection index per 1,000 population of 10 units per 1,000 population. The blood collection index, which I mentioned, measures the adequacy of the national blood supply. So presently, Ghana's blood collection index is about 6. This literally means that only 6 people out of every 1,000 population donate blood, instead of a minimum of 10 people. So that makes the blood supply woefully inadequate. Our strategy as a service is to leverage social media platforms to expand our reach to the public, especially the youth, to grow the voluntary blood donor base in order to increase availability of safe blood for transfusion. At this point, permit me, Mr. Chairman, to recognize the great efforts by Mami Kwaba Stevens and the Kwaba Foundation for conceptualizing and leading the development of the Blood Donation Tracker app, which was launched earlier in February this year. This app is currently being used to track blood donations by educational institutions. Permit me also to express my deepest appreciation to all educational institutions, religious bodies, corporate organizations, have a National Insurance Commission here. They did fantastic this year, including benefactors,
to help the National Blood Service in its efforts to get voluntary blood donation. Our goal is to raise funds to allow that to happen. Now, one of the things we have set out to do this year is to work with the Ministry of Health and the National Blood Service and also the National Health Insurance Authority to see if we cannot find a way in which we set up a National Blood Donation Week. Right now, what you find is there is blood donation going on around, but they are all in pockets. So today, MTN will do some, tomorrow this person will do some, and but if we are able to raise the awareness through a national effort, we believe that that will be another way of getting more voluntary blood donation, and it will serve as a way of creating awareness, at least for maybe a week in a year. And it's an effort that the National Blood Foundation wants to embark on. Now, the Commissioner for Insurance is here, and I'm sure we'll be approaching him to lend his good efforts to that endeavor. Without going any more, I want to thank all of you for coming.
From Accra.
So it's a day to actually recognize them. Say a big thank you for their contribution towards the health system, because they donate blood, and that blood they give is used to treat patients who require blood. So what we do is that we recognize them, we let them know that what they're doing is important. Because as a country, we have to have a national blood supply which is safe and is adequate. And of course, the voluntary donors who contribute towards that. So my expectation is that with recognizing the voluntary donors on such a day, National Blood Donor Day, the launch of the 2022 campaign is also being launched. I expect that we will see more people donating blood. We'll see the public donating more blood. You remember in my speech I mentioned that the National Population Census realized that there was a shift to young donors, young people who are within the eligible age for donation. So we're expecting that we'll see more people donating blood. And of course, population has gone up, and we're seeing that our need is also quite high. So there's a call for more people to donate blood. And of course, we have also the advantage that we're having more people in the eligible age. So we hope that with more education, the voluntary donors who have been acknowledged, they go back to tell their relatives and their friends to also donate and keep the world beating. We want to see more blood donations. That's what I expect.